That we're now rounding third base on a decade since the whole Epstein thing happened, and somehow it wasn't enough to wake you all up to the idea that it's all of them, that it's every last one of them, and they're all working together in the shadows to maintain the idea that it's just a few bad apples, not the whole orchard. It's funny, don't you think? Almost as funny as Larry Silverstein buying 2 buildings so infested with asbestos that the cost to remove it all was more than the buildings were worth. Almost as funny as Larry Silverstein going out of his way to pay more insurance than he needed to, insisting that the buildings were worth more than they appraised for 6 weeks before the attacks. Almost as funny as Larry Silverstein not being at work that day. Almost as funny as you all thinking that we don't know whose hand is in our pocket, who's pulling these strings. That you all think we don't see the agenda. Almost as funny as you all thinking we're still gonna keep buying your distractions. Your time is almost up.
It's about to go down. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me. Jay Black, Sexy Mo, C-Chum, and celebrity guests that you get nowhere else. That's right, but here on Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends. Go to our YouTube page, Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, and check the exclusive situation all the way out. Or catch it live. Get your comments on Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends are back. Yeah.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when the summer comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
What? Did I take it too far? What?
Yes.
Whatever. Tight shirts in the morning at work and when I grieve. I even wear tight pajama tops when I sleep. Tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. July 21st. Oh, man, let me stop focusing on how fast the summer is going. Let me chill with that and just enjoy the moment. Enjoy Tuesday, July 2021st. Good morning, y'all. We'll see who jumps on today. We'll see who's going to rock out with us. Jay Black's on vacation. They celebrating anniversaries and all that good stuff. God bless. Hope they're having a marvelous time. I'm sure we'll have a long update on Monday when they get back in here. I don't know if Dr. Aaron Smith is going to jump on. I don't know if Sexy Mo is going to jump on. We will see. I sent the link out. The link is out. If not, it's me. Yes, it is. It is me. Like when Bobby Brown left New Edition to take over the world, you already know it is me, and I will be running my mouth and having conversations and dialogue, and we will enjoy ourselves, and maybe we will get passionate about something, or maybe today might just be a silly ass day. I don't know. All I know is the title is Mother Forced to Pay Back Child Support to Father. I wish Jay was here. I really understand. I'm going to bring this topic back when he gets here. I really am, but when I saw this the first day, I said, "Damn!" and I forgot. I got to work on these titles because honestly, it's Michael Sean in the Takeover Legend show, so we got to get it to the point where that's the title. But for now, we trying to grab people, y'all. We trying. I ain't gonna hold you. We trying to grab people and get them on here, and increase the family and increase the community and all that good stuff. So let's get to these good mornings, see what's going on. And maybe, KT was on yesterday. Maybe KT will jump on this bitch whenever she can. Good morning, KT. Already on here. And I got to figure out how I put the link up. Because I remember there was a copy. Somewhere he copied the link and then just put it in the chat. And then I just bring it up. What up, Afro Queen? What's going on? We specialize in promoting Twitch channels. Yeah, my Twitch channel is horrible, y'all. So I appreciate you sending the thing to promote Twitch channels. Thank you. But the Twitch, I don't know. I think I need to do different things for the Twitch. I think this show isn't really for the Twitch. But I don't know. It's just there. It's there right now. So we'll see what's going on. KT saying good morning to folks. Ashabu saying good morning. What up, Ashabu? What's going on here? And I haven't forgotten. I really want to do a picnic. I really want us to get together and have a get together and should I say a cookout? Because I know there's some meaning behind picnic. Maybe I should take that out. There's always something that you find out about a word that you thought was so innocent. Then you find out that there's tons of meanings behind it. I don't know. Lunatic, what's going on? Lunatic up in here. I'm wondering if Mo is going to actually try and get on here and get them numbers back. She could. I don't know. Mo might just be busy. Good morning, blessings, Lunatic up here. What was that? Yes, Lunatic, Jay and Lady Q celebrating the anniversary. Yes, they are. Yeah, they got they do the. I'm saying this corny in a loving way because I would probably be a part of that. They got I should have just put the pictures on here, but I'm not. Got the t-shirts. Husband on vacation. What did the actual t-shirt say? What the hell did the t-shirt say? Hold on, let me see what them t-shirts actually said. Because he sent they had a pic that he had. Let me see if I can get find it real quick. Let me see. All right, there's. Oh, damn it. What the hell? It's not that big a deal, Mike. Why are you looking for this right now? But now it bothers me. Now I want to say exactly. Here it is. Husband and wife travel, but something. There's something else. They got a plane over the travel. It's a cute t-shirt, but there's something under it. There's something under it. Listen, they turn into a softball team when they go on vacation. They literally, and it's cute. I ain't never done that like that. But they'll be wearing them shirts like I'm with her, and she'll be like I'm with him and stuff. But it's cool. It's a team. It's like really like they got their own team, so they got their own merch. I think it's dope, and I think that's half the reason. I shouldn't say half the reason. I think it's one of the reasons why. It's one of the reasons why they've been together so long. I think stuff like that. Now, is it corny? Yeah, but I like it. I've never taken part in it. So I don't mean corny in a bad way. I mean corny in a good way where they got the little team. They like, But that's how they get down. So that's a beautiful thing. I think they on here. Husband and wife travel. They corrected me for vacation. Husband and wife travel partners for life. And that's nice. That is nice. That is nice. When you're a part of something that you could do like that, that is nice. Hey, Lady Q, that is fucking yo, wait a second. Let me get to my Lady Q corrected me while on vacation. That's your answer, right? That is funny for real, for real, for real. What else we got? We got just saying what up, bro. I got a ton of clips because I figured just in case. I also have not only mother forced to pay back child support, I got some advice that I found that were given to men. Number one clip about it, advice is about confidence. About confidence. Because I've never heard a woman not say she wants a confident man. But I've never heard a woman not say that she's attracted to a confident man. And it's tough. It's tough. It's not an easy thing being confident all the time. Especially when the relationship, early in the relationship, you really got to and what if you're not confident? I don't know if men have that same thing on their top 3. Do men really think, I'm like, I do want a confident woman. But I've never heard a man say, yeah, the reason I really don't think this is going to go anywhere because I don't feel she's confident enough. I don't know if men have ever thought that, but it seems like for a man, that is in your top 3. Now, I would like a woman to be confident. I think that would be cool. I'm sure there's some people who like people not being confident so they can manipulate the situation. But I got advice on that. Also, I got a cue, an indication if a man loves you, women. And it's a simple one. But I got that on here too. So I got that. I also got Memphis Bleak talking crazy on a podcast. And I don't know. When I play this, I'm going to be like, I don't know if Jay-Z needs to send him a text like, yo, chill a little bit. And then I got something that I'm going to need all my churchgoers. I'm going to need all my churchgoers. I saw this TikTok post where somebody put a Bible verse having to do with marriage. I'm going to need some interpretation today because I think I got it. I'm not saying I'm a Harvard educated, MIT, Yale educated. My comprehension is pretty good. Y'all know I read deep into stuff. But when I play this, I might need a woman on here. I don't know. I might need a woman on here to tell me how she, or I might need a church going. We may need some translation. Not saying the rest of y'all ain't God-fearing people. Not saying y'all not. And in line, maybe this should have been the title. In line of all the advice and confidence and how you know if a man loves you, your red flags. Not the other person's red flags. Not the red flags you look for. I want to know, what are your red flags? What would be on your warning label? If you had to warn somebody about being with you, what would be on your warning label? I want to see how transparent and real that y'all could actually be. Everybody, what up, Legs? Good morning, Legs. Miss Parker, good morning, Miss Parker. Legs, what's going on? Good morning, Tawana, what's going on? What are your red flags? And I'm putting a little star next to that. I'm gonna put a little star next to that because I want to see if people can really not only be honest, but do you even know what your red flags are? Like, real talk, this fly is gangster. Ooh, I let this fly in because I walked out the house and then I saw this son of a bitch go like, whoosh, I was like, ooh. So, ooh. But I want to see. I want to see if we can get on here because we used to, and I include myself. We're used to being able to point the red flags that we're looking for. We're used to be able to break other people. Whoa, slow down, killer. Yeah. You got a little toxicity in you. Yeah, I see a little bit of something. I want to know if we can put the mirror. Can we look in the mirror and actually warn folks? Lunatic says too much social media or phone is a red flag unless it's required on the job. Okay, all right. Miss Park. Okay, but see, Lunatic, that is very easy. That part is very easy for you to point out the red flag that you're looking for. A red flag is something. What is the red flag about you? If you had to put a warning label on you, could you do that? God, this fly, I'm gonna have to kill this fly right now. I can't believe I let you in. Flies are the most annoying insect in the history of the world because they don't know no better. You just be like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't leave. And they be like, I don't care. Zoom, zoom. I swear I'm gonna kill you if you don't leave. And they be like, zoom, zoom. Dummy. Then you gotta go. My red flag, I'm impulsive. Okay, all right. Well, we started. All right, cool. Well, I didn't say you had issues, Lunatic. Well, you said it, but we're just gonna, when we get to it, we're gonna start figuring out if people can point out their red flags and put it on here. Oh, but let me get it right. Look, she popped on. She's trying to say she is saving the day again. Give it up for KT, y'all. KT is in order. Let me get the round of applause. There you go. What up?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I don't know if Sexy Mo decided that she was going on vacation too with Jay Black. Like, what the fuck is going on?
She had a lot to do over the past couple of weeks. She might just need to rest.
What the fuck?
She might be taking a beat.
I hope she's all right. She ain't even text us. We not gonna be there. It's like all of a sudden Jay gone now. She don't want to let people know or nothing. Who he watching? I don't know what's. Let me delete that right there. Delete that. All right. So how was your night last night, KT? Because you in here. How was your night last night?
It was all right. It was a little long, but it was all right.
What happened? Something happened? Some got you stressed? Some got you building up stress in your shoulders and your neck getting tight?
A little bit. Sometimes folks can't just accept things for what they are, and it makes for 5-6 hour back and forth conversations.
5 or 6 hours.
Text conversation.
5. You
dumbass nigga.
That
no.
Yeah.
We need all of them. Oh no. 6 hour conversations. No, once we get to an hour, I'm hitting it.
Motherfucking friends hate your bitches. And they're right. This ain't talking shit, no, that's just the facts.
Really like the song. That's why I let it play. I really like the song. So a 6 hour conversation. There's no way. That's almost a whole day of work. Like was it a consistent conversation, or did y'all hang up and then call back and then hang up and then call back and then go text messages and then get back on the phone, or was it a full? There's no way you on the phone for 6 hours straight.
Okay, not straight.
Okay,
not straight. It was a mix of phone calls and conversations. I'm probably going to hear about this later, but when I say the level of I don't give a fuck is real high today, yeah, it was hang up, blow up my phone, hang up, blow up my phone until I answered again type shit.
Wait, hold on. Wait a second. This don't sound. Wait a second. This sounds like the type of shit I got into when I was in relationships. Like, this don't sound like a. This is a
yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
Hasn't been able to accept this for going on a year.
Oh, somebody was spinning the block.
Up now.
Somebody
No.
was spinning the block.
Attempting to.
Oh, interesting. Oh, you done fit right into the show now. Oh, you I ain't had somebody spin the block. I have not had somebody try to spin the block in a long time. I tell y'all, ain't nobody ever
Unfortunately, I've had it happen a few times and more times than I would like.
the spinning of the block. You weren't like you didn't
That's a whole damn show in itself.
yeah, let me write that down. Having spinning the
That's a whole
block.
show in itself.
Wow. So was there ever is there ever a part of you that has given some type of thought to it? Like have you ever, just a little bit, you could be honest. You be honest. Have you ever,
Have I considered
yeah,
spinning
have
the
you
block
considered? Yeah.
this time? I did for
Oh,
half a second a while ago,
right.
and now I'm not, and I'm very firm, and I'm not.
Oh. So you did the last time he tried to spin the block, you let him park the
Thought
car.
about it.
You
I
thought
thought
about it?
about it for about, yeah, he parked for about 10 minutes.
Oh, brown girl experience. She said her red flag. Wait a second.
Hey,
I have
sis.
two major ones. I have this way of making men feel extra special because of my hyperfixation trait.
Hyperfixation,
But the
girl.
second the hyperfixation runs its course, so does my interest.
That's that ADHD life. That's exactly what that is. And you know who that is, Mike. That's Erica Butler. You had her on your panel at the Q spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that could
brown
be
girl.
really confusing, brown girl experience. That could be very all of a sudden you just that is a red flag. That's a red flag. Yeah. You need but how the fuck do you explain to somebody that I'm going to pay extra attention to you for a while
You
and then
don't.
I'm not?
You don't explain. It just happens.
Well, so this is really okay. So this is really a red flag. Like I like
Yes.
this. I have to applaud you for sharing this, my friend. Is a critical red flag. That confuse. Let me just applaud you for being that, for being honest. Let me just give you that. That shit right there.
It's a real thing.
Because you're gonna think if you're the other person, what I do. Like, did I do something that all of a sudden you're interested? Should I maybe I changed my hair or something? Like I
It
know my
honestly
insecure
may
ass.
not have anything to do specifically with you. Um, oh
Fuck.
boy, how do I explain this? It may not be anything directly with you. It could be, something that reminds them of something, or again with ADHD, it unfortunately she could have just got bored and whatever was she was hyperfixating on ain't doing it for her no more.
Huh. All
Like
right.
it
So
got boring or it's getting on her nerve. Like now it can go from being she's hyperfixating on it is cute, but it could get real annoying real quick.
all right, well, okay. That wasn't supposed to be the first thing we start with. So, but okay.
It was
I'm gonna put that in there. That's our first person who really gave a red flag. Everybody hold your comments. Let me get to the title. Mother Force. But wait. Let me slow down. So you thought about allowing him to park the car for 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden,
months ago.
then the spinning came back and he tried to spin again. And but at this point, this conversation, there was no inkling of hope that you might be like, well, park. Well, put your hazards on and chill for a minute. No. Huh.
And then me being who I am was attempting to at least salvage a friendship, but it doesn't look like that's going to work either. So
let me tell you what your first mistake was. From the
she's
untrained,
looking nice.
let me tell you your first mistake. From an untrained person who I advise you don't take my advice. From a person who every relationship I've ever been in has ended. Every relationship is done.
Don't take no fucking advice from me either.
Don't take no advice. But this is the first, and this is a vital mistake that you made. You spent too much time talking.
Yep.
the conversation has to be no more than a 10-minute. 10 minutes is too long.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation has to be like, this is never going to happen. So, we can be friends if you want to be friends. I do value your friendship and we can be friends, but this is not going to happen. That's it. And if they continue talking, say, listen, I don't mean to be rude, but I got to get off the phone because I can't have this conversation because you're not listening to what I'm saying. I've made a decision and we're not in court. You're not a defense attorney. There's not a jury. Matter of fact, there is one. It's just me. I'm the judge and I've already made my decision. But because of the long conversation, it is human nature. And I would have taken it as there is still something that you're thinking about and you're thinking and you're still on the fence. And I kind of think you were kind of mushy and you didn't pick a side of the fence. And that's why it was a 6-hour conversation. And then your go-to was, well, I'm just trying to keep the friendship. At that point, you realize they can't be a friendship if it takes 6 hours to explain to somebody that this relationship ain't happening again. But once again, it's an untrained person. I have no training in this except failure. That's all I have.
No,
all I have is
you
failure.
called it. You called it. I can admit that. You called it. Spot on.
So I feel that there are some feelings that you have that for this person, but you have decided in your mind, I think that this is not going to work and it's not healthy for me and all that.
No,
good
I
stuff.
know
DJ
it is not
Super
going
in the
to
building.
work, and it's definitely not healthy.
What up,
Definitely
Super?
not healthy.
I know you listen, Super, but just in case you missed it, Jay Black's on vacation, Sexy Mo is somewhere, and Dr. Aaron Smith was on. So all of KT's here for the rescue. And KT got a problem. She stayed on the phone for 6 hours trying to convince somebody that they can't spring the block. But
KT solved the problem. The problem is solved.
After 6 hours. All right, we'll see. We'll see. So this is what got me.
No, it's definitely solved.
Let me try to do the red flags. Let's get to the story. Let's get to the mama gotta pay. Now, this, my friends, I have to get my energy up for this. When I saw this clip, and I believe it, I just don't believe, and I should stop saying that. I should stop saying I just don't believe. It's in your face. I don't believe a person can say something out their mouth that so thoroughly contradicts their complaint. This is a red flag of mine, y'all. I'll throw a red flag in. If you say something that so contradicts, in my mind, what you're telling me, like I can't let it go. And I get frustrated because I can't see why you can't see. This is a high level type of contradiction. So this woman gets on and she makes this video as a victim. She makes this video as a victim, trying to get people to say, girl, that's crazy. I can't believe. This is a judge who made this decision. And she gets on here and really has the victim role like laid out. Let me see where we got it. Here we go. Bam. I did a good job titling this. I just couldn't find it. There you go.
Court just got out of session, and if you don't know, I was back in child support court showing some receipts because my baby daddy was contesting the cruise I bought when the child support money came in, and I had asked him to pay the rent because I didn't have the rent money anymore after buying the cruise. Well, let's talk about it. I just left court, and now they have ordered me to reimburse him $6,000. My baby daddy, $6,000. I have to reimburse him because I, according to them, did not use the funds accordingly that was given to me by child support. Now, I am pissed because I am going to see what I can do to overturn this decision about me having to reimburse him $6,000.
That judge clearly got it right. And bravo to that father for standing up for his kids and taking that woman to court when she is supposed to.
All right, y'all. Now it gets a little irritating when a white woman jumps on here and says and gives her critique on everything. And I get it. And maybe that's wrong of me. Real? Yeah, I have no idea. I think she is real. She's pregnant and everything. But let me just go back. Let me play this girl. And now I can start pausing with places that just that triggered me that pushed every button I have.
Court just got out of session, and if you don't know, I was back in child support court showing some receipts because my baby daddy was contesting the cruise I bought when the child support money came in, and I had asked him to pay the rent because I didn't have the rent money anymore after buying the cruise.
How do you have a straight face to say that?
Right.
How do you have a straight face? How can you literally? This is why, people, this is why the way I have worked with my co-parent to Stacy will never change. And I don't care what people think is crazy about it. I don't care what people, oh my God, your kids is grown. Why are you still, you sharing a particular bank account? Never, because I don't ever want to receive this phone call from a person. I don't ever want somebody to literally come at their face and say shit like this.
The cruise I bought when the child support money came in, and I had asked him to pay the rent because I didn't have the rent money anymore after buying the cruise. Well, let's talk about it.
Why are you buying a cruise and skipping the rent? Well, I'm not.
Me to reimburse
these people. I can't have this conversation.
I'm like in a split. One. Okay, so you pay for fuck where the money came from. I have an issue with the fact that you skipped paying the rent to pay for a cruise. That is a problem no matter where the money came from.
Now, this
you don't
is a skip.
pay for a cruise before you pay for the roof over your head. That's one. But two, how does that equate to her having to pay him back $6,000?
I guess that's
is
the
he
child
paying
support.
$6,000 a month in child support?
I guess there was two.
And did the kid go on the cruise too? Because if the kid went on the cruise too, what am I paying you back for?
I have no idea, but let her keep talking. Here we go.
$6,000. My baby daddy, $6,000. I have to reimburse him because I, according to them, did not use the funds accordingly that was given to me by child support. Now, I am pissed because I am going to see what I can do to overturn this decision about me having to reimburse him $6,000.
That judge clearly got it right. And bravo to that father for standing up for his kids and taking that woman to court when she is supposed to be providing to them through the funds that he is giving to her. Unfortunately, what a lot of people don't understand is that a man will have zero problem paying child support as long as they see that that child support is actually supporting their child. Because I think it's completely valid for a man that's already paying for health insurance, already paying half of daycare costs, to have a problem with paying an additional $1,000 a month for one child. And then on top of that, he also provides anything that that child needs under his roof. So much so that the child literally just brings the clothes on their back to his place. But then when those clothes are holey, or they're 2 sizes too small, or the shoes are falling apart, that man has a valid complaint. And then when the mother of that said child comes and asks for additional because of her own spending habits, yeah, that's not going to fly.
So you don't think the judge got it right? I think the judge got. If the judge realized that your child support money had been used on a cruise, and you can prove it, I think the money should go back. Like I'm
teetering on that. I'm teetering on that. I'm mostly more upset at the fact that she misappropriated the funds to begin with. Like, why are you not paying the rent and paying for a cruise first? That's fucked up. That's wrong on all levels. I would think he would want to take her in for that. Like, yo, she went on a cruise and then gonna tell me that they're gonna get evicted when they come back. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well, that's why he got his money back. That's why she's forced to pay the $6,000 back.
But now she really can't pay the rent. What happens with the kid?
That might be his ploy to go, well, guess where the kid needs to be? You can't pay the rent.
Maybe that is where the kid needs to be if she finds that the cruise is more important than the rent.
Now, this is the part that gets me because I know somebody is saying this. I know somebody is saying this. Somebody is saying this is not real. But also, when you say this is not real, ask yourself and be honest. You know this shit really goes on.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know there are people who are taking that child support and listen, I've never been on child support, never paid child support. Repeat that again.
I've seen some wild shit. I've seen somebody paying their Bentley payments with child support.
Bentley payments with child support. It's absolutely like this, my friends. Miss Cone, thanks, blessings is you as well. Girl, shut up. LaShawn, good morning, Eric. Good morning. This is the frustration that goes on. And
that's what I say, Afro Queen. This can't be real.
But it is real. Because we know it's real. We know it's real.
And it makes us look bad. It makes us look really bad. I can't tell you. I tried to fight with both of my children's fathers to have the same exact arrangement that you have with your co-parenter because I didn't want to go through all this bullshit. It was a different side. They pushed it. I didn't. I ended up taking one out of court because they were fucking with him.
This guy says she spent the rent money on a cruise. That's what I'm assuming. Because remember, now this is where I think, okay, we're going to do the reckless speculating. If you're used to getting this check every month and everything is smoothed out, you realize another check is coming. So you use some of that check or maybe all of the check to pay for the cruise. This is where the audacity came in. It would have been fine if your dumb ass didn't go and ask him to help you with the fucking rent.
Exactly.
You could have kept it moving.
She should have kept her mouth shut.
And what you need to stop doing is stop having sex with your baby dad, because you absolutely must be having sex with your baby dad in order for you to believe that you could get away with this.
Yeah, that's a good possible.
You are not.
It's a good possible. Or she really thought he was that dumb. She must have been getting over on him at some other point as well to even attempt it. She was getting him at some other point.
Ms. Clark said, I can't listen to this nonsense. Well, wait a second. Jeanette said, I was just in child support court and he's behind $31,000. Wee. They suspended his license and it's on his credit report. 31. Listen, once again, y'all. Any guy who's ever been, I'm sure it is easy to rack up 31,000. I'm sure you're gonna tell me, Mike, you don't even understand. It's just like a credit card bill.
He just wasn't doing anything. Like 31,000, he wasn't doing anything.
Damn,
for
Jeanette.
A very long period of time. Damn, Jeanette.
So what? Because at this point, ain't no catching up on that. Them kids wasn't on that cruise. No, them kids wasn't on that cruise. Correct?
No.
Them kids wasn't. She probably had to pay a babysitter. She might have had to.
Probably did. That was probably part of the 6,000.
She had to give her mom some bread. She had to give her sister or auntie some bread.
And at least a week, you got to put them up. You got to feed them. That's probably where part of that went. Now, if part of that went to that, then she did not totally misappropriate the.
Oh no!
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Don't Jay Black, don't play with me today. She messed up. She messed up when she asked more money to cover. But this is why I'm saying some vagina is being given up, because it has to be given up. Because when you got that type of confidence to actually double down and take the hustle even further, the blatant hustle even further, there has to be. And listen, I can't just blame her. I gotta blame him too, because this is what you dipping back. You dipping back, and this is the problem that goes on. Oh, wait a second.
Probably found out who he was going on a cruise with.
He probably found out who she was going on the cruise with. He is in the building. Wait a second. Hold up.
Put your hands in the air. Make some noise.
Time to get your knowledge up and get ready to write down some facts with Dr. Aaron Smith.
He's in the building. Wasn't nobody on no cruise with me. Don't be bringing me in like that. He's in the building. I said, wait a minute, Mike. probably found out who he's on the cruise with, and he's right here now. No. I'm just joining the show.
And we have him on the show. So, Dr. Aaron Smith, when did you go on the cruise?
How was the cruise? How was the cruise, Dr. Smith? I told her she was going to get caught. I told her she was going to get in trouble.
Was it worth 6 G's in a court trip?
I said child support. I looked at the title. I said, oh, man, y'all got me on here. The wrong topic. What y'all talking about today?
And see, like that. First of all, welcome to the show. See, Afro Queen, this is what I mean. You say this is age bait. No way someone's telling on themselves like this. And
no, her dumbass told on herself.
There are people who blatantly will tell you. People telling themselves all the time. That's what I'm saying. The problem is, even if you prove to me that this is fake, the problem is that this is real and that we all know somebody who actually does this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We know.
Well, we can look at a good example right now is the White House. When people don't think they're gonna get in trouble, they say all kind of stuff.
They say all kind of stuff, and y'all be using these nice words. She misappropriated the funds. He should be paid. No, she hustled his ass. She's a thief. He's a thief.
Yeah,
and she knew. And listen, I understand women on both sides of it. Listen, Jeanette just said the father of her child is $31,000 behind on child support. That's crazy. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know why he's $31,000. Like he treating his kid like a Capital One card. So I know there's sides to this story. There's sides to this story. But this is why, my friends, when people joke at me, and when Jay Black gives me the rundown on how crazy it is that I share a bank account with my co-parenter, this is why. Because I've never stood in front of anybody. And I thank God. I've stood in front of the judge for a lot of other things. But I've never stood in front of the judge because of this. And I thank God that we're able to have a rational conversation. Let me see, get these other ones. Oh, for sure, people scam every day. LaShawn, yeah, what is this child support y'all speak of? Oh, well, I guess you must be bitter. Maybe not bitter, but maybe you're not getting child support. I don't know. Jeanette, my daughter's father.
And I've been on that side too.
So Ashabu says, Jeanette, my daughter's father probably owes me more than that. In 18 years, maybe received $200. I never relied on him or the courts to help me take care of my child. Boy, bye. God will hold him accountable.
Mm-hmm. I took my daughter's father out of court because they were miscalculating, but shot myself in the foot because there really wasn't too much financial help afterward.
So we got Doc here. So Doc, I don't know how long you're gonna be here. We're also we'll do this thing where I got a clip where people are forced to tell people their red flags in a relationship. Red flags in a relationship. But before I go to that, I would like to get into this. Listen, there's so many Nolan Wells updates. There's so many updates. There's too many. And I'm not saying too many. There's too many for me because I don't know which one is real. So I'll give you this quick one that was on here. And I kind of like when people just go direct to the point and they don't try and add any personality. Just go. Just give me what you got.
Morgan, Wyatt, Warren, all y'all ass going to jail for murder. Y'all thought y'all was gonna kill No and ain't nobody was gonna find out about it? Let me break this shit down real short and sweet. They had a small altercation on Horn Island that was Wyatt and No. Nolan got into it with Wyatt. It was a small altercation. They didn't kill him on the island. That's what I'm trying to say. But let's fast forward. They go to Evan's pool party. They invite Natalie and Lucy. They trying to get some punani. And y'all know how that go with a black man. A young black man, a young stallion buck. Man, them white people wasn't feeling that. So Wyatt brings up the argument from earlier because they're all intoxicated. Liquid Courage got this nigga on one. They begin to jump No, beating the shit out of No. And guess who recorded? Warren. They're laughing, egging on the situation, saying, get that nigga, get that nigga. My heart broke when I found out there was video surveillance of not only this brutal assault, but No is heard screaming, mama, mama. To put the icing on the cake, Evan family then made everybody invited to the party leave, but eerily made No stay. And if that's not enough have proof. When Nolan's daddy went to go pick up his pickup truck from Evan's house after he was reported missing from Horn Island, they told him they couldn't find the key, but the girl, the insider, the one that's giving us all the information, she told No Daddy the keys was on the Xbox. Y'all should have seen Warren's face. So the boy went to looking like, how the fuck did they know that? It was at that part they immediately lawyered up, and about 2 days later, Nolan was announced found. Because it happened at Evan's house, everybody thought they was gonna get away with the shit. We all stick to one story. He left, we don't know where he went. But you forgot something. You're tampering with evidence. You're obstructing a criminal investigation. On top of committing first-degree murder. Once they pull up these IP addresses, these phone records, these videos and photos, oh, all y'all ass going under the jail with the lethal injection. You heard it here first. Nolan was killed by Wyatt, Warren, Evan, and Morgan. Conspiracy to commit murder, accessory after the fact. Let's get these charges going, can we?
Now, I don't know how accurate it is because of all the stories I heard, and all I know is one thing that is factual. One thing is factual, that Mississippi does not want to release their autopsy results until the independent autopsy is released. What exactly do you have to do with the independent autopsy? If your autopsy is done, why won't you reveal it? You won't reveal it because if this explodes in your face, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to start questioning everything in history that this autopsy department has ever touched. And you're going to talk about people coming back to say this and this and that. I've never seen somebody blatantly say, basically what they're saying is, we don't want to get caught in a lie. So show me what you got.
The little joker.
The little joker, yeah.
You don't want to throw that out unless you see that big one played.
Exactly.
See what I did there? But just to, you gotta break it down simply. You know, everybody's not a lawyer, but you know they can play.
When all else fails, go back to spades. When all else fails, go back to spades.
Because you ain't just gonna drop the little joker knowing that the big one ain't playing. No, ain't nobody doing that. So we all get it.
Because if you ever did that, your partner would be mad. Your partner would
look at you like you must have both. You must be playing games. Why you know you just playing mind games with the other team. You know, just tell me you're playing with me, partner. I can't talk across the board. But one thing I was thinking about while we were transitioning into this topic, I laughed at myself because I really agree with KT's comment about, you know, sometimes you try to do the right thing and be nice, and then you end up getting, you know, stuck on the other side. And it's difficult because I remember yesterday, Mike, we were talking about the mice and the mazes, right? And I have to admit, I've called in many times, and I've been so engrossed in my perspective because of the trauma of being on the side of paying too much or paying twice and all that. It was difficult for me to see the whole maze. It was difficult for me to recognize the designer. But as I hear more stories and I get older and, you know, you get more away from the emotion, and you start to learn more about the system, I would describe it like this. It's like going to marriage counseling with her ex and your side chick.
Oh, shit, wait.
It's like you and your lady go to counseling. You say we're gonna try to work this out together as best we can.
Right.
But the people who are facilitating your sessions are her ex, her abusive ex, and your side chick. And that's how it is when two people try to go to the system to do what's in the best interest of the child. That's what it's like. You trying to solve it, I'm trying to solve it, but these things right here, they have no interest in us even having peace, let alone having healthy and well-developed children. And that's where the problem really is. It's in the designer. And oftentimes we go at each other so much about, you know, our past and what we didn't do that we don't look up and be like, yo, we need to figure something out because they're not trying to help any of us. But it's difficult when you're not speaking and you're not on good terms and things have happened. So it's just a rough situation with that. But Nolan Wells, I focus on how much has already not been done. There's a great black investigator who was like, yo, you got to get pictures of their bodies immediately. Like when men say they didn't abuse women or vice versa, they say, well, where'd you get that scratch from? They say, me
48.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my lady was fighting. He said, okay, now you done brought your lady into it. Now we need to talk to her too. Now we getting her on the record, right? We want to look under your nails for DNA, right? We want to get everybody in separate rooms to see how these stories are lined up. Like we need these phones now. Before any scrubbing, wiping, anything, before you could clean out. I remember there was that murder case with the white man who he changed the rug and the carpet, right? Took the whole carpet out the apartment. And that happens a lot. Instead of happening, I think Mitch McConnell or Lindsey Graham, whatever, but people do that. They start hiring cleaning services. We need to go in there now into that house. We need the search warrant immediately. We need to be in that pool, in that house. We need to be in that boat. We need to be in those cars, like a pickup truck. We like everything. And not that the whole keys thing is reminiscent of that scene in Get Out, where he was trying to find his keys so that he could leave, and then the white girl turns and says, "You know, I can't give you the keys." That's just eerie in and of itself. There's a whole scene where we're looking for the keys, and we all saw Get Out when that was the time we realized they was all against them. But I would just really focus on the fact that the racism, because those what happened. They might say, well, the girl's relative who was apparently on the run. That's another story. Let's say he did it. They're gonna jump out there like the Duke lacrosse team, be like, "We told you them boys wasn't in it." And we're gonna focus on something we shouldn't focus on. In terms of the racism embedded in the design, the difference in the fact that these people have not been even questioned or arrested, that's the problem. The problem is not that people get killed every day. It was like Zimmerman. If it took us 70 days to get him arrested, the problem is in the inherent bias that the system portrayed. So right now we need to look at the fact that nobody's been arrested yet. There's been no search warrants. There's been no photographs. This is the issue. I don't know who did it, because gosh forbid something happens where this young man drowned. I don't think that's what happened. I think it's highly unlikely. But people will run around and act like 400 years of racism doesn't exist because we were wrong on that topic. But we need to focus on the fact that they weren't arresting anyone. They came out and said that there was no evidence of foul play. Nobody came forward. More people are saying things about potential drowning than they are about rest in peace or condolences to the family. I'm talking about the mayor and the sheriff's comments. They coming out talking about people die out there. Wait. First thing you're supposed to say is my condolences to the family. And the fact that those things, people aren't being treated like human beings and aren't being given due process, that's the issue that we want to really highlight. The fact that we see the racism no matter what we end up finding out. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells and condolences to the family.
And unfortunately, Doc, I'm glad you said that, because unfortunately this topic becomes a topic and we keep forgetting that somebody lost their son and somebody's waking up every morning trying to deal with that fact.
And she's getting harassed. Don't forget the mom's getting, the parents getting death threats and all kinds of stuff.
Of course. Of course. It goes exactly with the pattern. But my thing, I shouldn't say I've never seen, but very rarely do I see, but I guess, all right, follow me on this. I guess what it is that in this town, they have been used to being able to conduct things a certain way that they got so comfortable that they thought they had control over whatever justice system they had. Whatever judge was there, the son's mom's a judge and all that good stuff.
They know each other.
You ever do something so crooked for so long, but nobody's ever shined a light on it? And then all of a sudden, when everybody shines the light on it, you realize how dumb the shit you just did were to try to cover it up. Because the fact that you immediately took off your social media.
Kids and parents.
Yeah.
So you're telling me everybody deactivated their social media? Why?
And that's why you need them phone. That's why you need them phone records and them text messages.
Exactly.
Because that's the point too. When y'all were just talking to each other, when you were deciding to lawyer up, when you were deciding to take down your social media, when you were deciding whether to bring the boat back or take the boat out, like we need to see who called who when. Who is the ringleader, like they do for drug deals? Who's the kingpin? Who needs to be charged differently? Who was the one that initiated these calls and these meetings? Where were these meetings held? Like, that's what we need to find out. And it's funny you were saying, when you did do something for so long, because I kept laughing. Earlier I was talking about Donald Trump. And it's now you was talking about Donald Trump again. When he's like, you ever do something so for so long? That's like the Epstein files. And he was like, oh, there ain't no files. I ain't in it. Or here go the files, and the files redacted. Yeah, your attempts to cover it up is so ridiculous because you never thought, like Ahmaud Arbery, when he got killed, they said that the district attorney had worked with the people who had one of the people that killed him, and she ended up almost getting indicted or taken down off her job. Because, yeah, they're so used to doing this that they don't think it happened with the Central Park 5. When the movie came out, years later, the movie came out, and everybody's like, wait a minute, this really happened? And they try to take it. They tried to get the lady's book taken down, the one that was writing books and all that. People started paying the consequences decades later because everybody's like, wait a minute, all y'all was in cahoots and these kids ain't really getting no due process. Yeah, they've been doing this for forever. All white juries. Shout out to Emmett Till and Mamie Till. They've been doing this. They've been the law only applies to certain people word for word. Otherwise, it's an unwritten rule and unwritten laws that govern things when it comes to the all white juries and mostly white towns. sundown towns and the like.
And there are other towns right now who are doing the exact same thing, who don't believe this will ever happen. They'll never get exposed. They just got sloppy. They just got sloppy.
This town, I'm sorry. Is this town that Nolan is from? Is this a sundown town?
I think somebody might have mentioned it was one formerly, but
I
think
I
Mississippi,
heard it.
yeah, Mississippi notoriously.
Right.
Mississippi is a sundown state. That's what I should say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pretty much. Pretty much a sundown state.
Yeah, we can say
Yes,
Mississippi's a sundown state. But
It's a sundown state.
Absolutely.
But there was a black guy who said this stuff, just what Mike said, who's apparently from the area or surrounding area. There's a black guy who was on TikTok saying, yo, in that area, this is how it is. They do this all the time. This is basically how the law works and how the town operates. The very rich people, like when younger brother of one of the accused young men, he said he called them worthless blacks, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What, teenagers don't talk like that unless that's the talk at the dinner table. Right. You're not taking that class in school. You never been out in the real world, or you live by yourself. You live with your parents. You heard them talking like that. Worthless blacks? Wow.
and none of them were at the funeral either. They all profess to be his friends. They're still saying our friend, our friend, our friend, our friend. We want justice, all that kind of stuff. Not one of them were at the funeral.
Or did they even post their RIP prior to scrubbing their social media?
No,
and the irony too. One last interesting point, Mike. They to say worthless blacks after hundreds of years of selling us and putting a price on us and even starting insurance companies in America based on you insuring your property is wild. It's wild to call somebody worthless that you've been selling and putting a price on for a couple hundred years. Like you got some audacity, devil. You got some real audacity to say you you did your big one with that one. Worthless, but you sold us.
Yeah, the one thing
we was worth something. We was worth something.
The one thing is, if you really had any type of IQ of any sort or any intellect, is the worthless part ain't it. The whole country was built off that.
Pick a new one. Pick something else.
Pick something else, cause they reliable to build the country.
And fill the jails and get money that way too, because there's a price tag on every prisoner to the state and everything else.
There's a price tag on every prisoner. This is why what another aspect of it that scares me. Normally, this is why it's so ingrained and embedded in that society, especially in that town. Because I am very surprised that nobody is cracked yet. I'm very surprised that somebody.
Well, they ain't been brought in.
They might now after yesterday. They might now after the funeral yesterday, since now between Tyler Perry and
Colin
Reverend Sharpton. No.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday at the funeral, Sharpton went up there and said he was putting 50,000 towards anybody who would come out and give information, and the information is factual. Tyler Perry, who could not be at the funeral, texted him after he heard him say that during the funeral and matched the 50. So now there's $100K on
it. And I respect that. And that money is always a prime
people
motivator.
Are gonna start talking.
But this is my thing as a parent. This is when I know this shit has to be so ingrained. As a parent, if my child told me, Dad, this, and let's say I'm a white parent. I'm a white parent because we got to work differently in the situation that we're in. If you know this as a parent, this is what I mean. This brainwash has to be crazy. If your kid says, Dad, I'm sure that he didn't drown. You have to go tell what you know now, because somebody's got to go to prison for this. Somebody is going to go to prison for this, and I don't want you to be the scapegoat. I don't want you to be the one that gets thrown in there. But it's so ingrained that there must be a danger. There must be so much danger to actually speak up to protect your kid that people are sitting there saying, let's just hope this racist system works. Let's just trust the process, people. Because you're risking it all for your kids. You're risking your kids' future for real. Because if you were there and you make a statement, or if you lied in some type of way, they're going to drag you in on this. So it must
got
be
Lil' Kim.
That's how they got Lil' Kim.
she could have said no comment, plead the fifth. She said I don't know him, and then they was like, it looked like this was your man. They pulled up all the texts, and then she was in federal prison. So, but interesting connection to our previous conversation we had, Mike. Remember when I was talking about women being abused, and we were quoting the statistics, and people were chiming in 137 per day and everything with the intimate partners. And I don't know if you remember, but in the comments, the harassment intensified, and they start saying, "Oh, Dr. Smith is pandering and blah blah blah." This is a parallel because in their community, there's a term called N-word lovers, and there's a way to keep people in place with threats of violence and ostracizing and bullying and criticizing and trolling. Where if you get off script and if you get out of line with what we're all doing, even though it's abusive, even though people are being murdered, you better stay in line, Dr. Smith. Don't go over there and ride with those women. I don't care who's killing them or who's beating them or who's raping them. You better stay over here with us men. Matter of fact, we'll question whether you're a man or not. You're pandering. You're a punk. You're all these things. And the same thing happens in their community. If you speak out in favor of black people, if you side, I don't care if it's what's right. I don't care if somebody's dead. I don't care if the family's grieving. You better stay over here and be white. You better stay over here and be a man. I don't care how toxic and how evil it is. You better stay over here with us and ride with us till the wheels fall off. And it's tragic, but I understand how it functions.
And that's what I mean, Doc, that they're willing to sacrifice the freedom of their kids in order to stay. So I'm like, the pressure, the danger that must actually be there, that if you do, like you say, if you don't ride out, you'll be handled. So one way or another.
But we do it too. Yeah. We got moms, we got daughters, we got wives. We still don't want to come out here looking like a pandering punk and be talking about women's rights. We definitely don't want nobody label us a feminist. That might be the ultimate insult to a lot of men. So, I mean, there's a lot of parallels here where it's like people will do that. People will put their own people at risk, their own people, they'll put themselves at risk rather than be ostracized or be outed as somebody who's standing up for justice and speaking truth to power. Because what nobody wants to do is be alone in any type of fight. They'd rather be with the group in the mob mentality, doing all the wrong. That's why they came to the lynchings. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. You get 5,000 people to watch somebody get murdered. They'll bring their children. But ask somebody to speak out in favor of black people. You'd be lucky if you find one.
Lucky if you find one. Now, this is my interesting thing, because like you said, we haven't even gotten to the point that handcuffs have been put on anybody. There hasn't. We haven't taken one step in the legal. Not one step has been taken in the legal process of questioning them, of sitting in a room and saying, okay, what happened? On the day of so-and-so, where were you? My law and order degree. On Thursday, July 15th, approximately 8 o'clock, where were you? That's all. We didn't even get that.
Well, with us, it's the first. With us, it's the first 48 hours. With them, it's the first 48 days.
Apparently,
no, that's a fact.
The fuck?
Because, dude, listen, I hate
with the first 40.
Still there? Did I freeze or did they freeze?
No, Doc froze.
Oh, he froze. Yeah, the first 48, because you already know. I hate to break it to you, and everybody knows this, and they hate to hear stuff that sounds so cliche. If the roles were reversed, somebody would have been in handcuffs within the first 24 hours.
Of course.
Somebody.
Of course.
Multiple people. If the roles were reversed, if you were at that party, you are going to the county jail.
Every last black face there was going to the county jail.
So I'm hoping. I'm hoping against my negative thoughts that I'm having right now, that at some point that you're gonna have to see if you can milk these lies. Are you bold enough to say these lies in front of, number one, the first step is gonna be an officer. Number two, the second step is gonna be in front of lawyers. Number three, they're gonna have to put this in front of a grand jury and see, are you willing? Because this whole thing,
but I don't know. Trust none of that. They have a judge in the mix. One of their parents is a judge. There's your ringleader right there. as soon as she made her statement, I was like, oh, okay, so she's the one that's guiding them and giving them all their steps now. All right, everybody, hurry up, take your IGs down, take your social medias down, erase all your shit off of Snapchat and all that kind of stuff. And I will go out. I, as the judge, will go out and make a statement on all of our behalfs. And, we're all victims in this situation too, and getting, nah. I don't see anything fair coming out of this.
Oh no, it's an uphill battle.
I don't want to be negative either, but I'm kind of feeling like it is what it is, and it is very much giving Emmett Till.
And I know, beside the fact that we know the environment and we know what people are used to, I just want to tell this for everybody else. After years of watching Law and Order, people, let me tell you what you're not capable of doing is being able to hide a murder and being able, people, you literally have to have the resources to do what? You can't scrub what's in your cloud. What's in the cloud of your phones.
But a judge knows how to. A judge knows how to work that shit. Judge knows how to those connections. The same way they can get it is the same way they can remove it. If a judge can say, I subpoena these records, they know how to get rid of them motherfuckers too.
But the problem is they can suppress the evidence. That cloud, that means you can't go to Apple and say what's in that cloud is going to be taken up.
But who's going to give it to them?
And that is the whole thing of having the resources, to having the legal team to say, this is what we have to now get. This is what has to happen for us to actually get justice. You have to have the resources. That's why the justice system has always been so biased, because they'll say everything that you see is crooked. Everything that you say is illegal. Everything that you see, everything that you're saying. Now, we need you to have the money to pay the legal team to prove the shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now when you got to pay a few $100, maybe $1,000 an hour, what you got? Come prove it. Mm-hmm. Because in this case, when the roles are reversed, they are innocent until proven guilty. When we get in court, we are guilty till we can prove we are innocent.
And that might not matter either.
So hopefully Doc can get back on here. I wanted to get to this. So I think sometimes, you ever had somebody ride out for you and they're adamant they're going to ride out for you, but when they ride out for you, they say some shit that you wish that they hadn't written out for you, because you're like, what you just said, I really didn't need you to say that.
Get off the ride. Get off the ride.
Like say if your boy's riding out for you and you and your woman are going through something, and you're like, he's like, yeah, she's done this to him and she's done that to him. Then all of a sudden he just breaks down. And in actuality, he ain't really give a fuck about her anyway. What?
Uh-huh. Doc said he's going to upgrade. He'll be back.
That is the type of thing that Memphis Bleek did to Jay-Z. He knows this ain't got nothing to do with Jay-Z. This is when somebody believes they know the assignment, but intellectually they can't execute it, because when they get flustered, they're just gonna say some shit that you just go, what did you say? Memphis Bleek was on a podcast and they were pressing him about the Jay-Z situation. And in a matter of seconds in this clip, I want you to hear what he says about activism. I want you to hear what he says about activism right in the beginning. I'm going to play it back.
Him to defend Jay-Z.
I don't give a fuck about that activism shit, my nigga. Like, because these niggas are still in there, my nigga.
Let's go back. You don't give a fuck about what?
I don't give a fuck about that activism shit, my nigga. Like, because these niggas are still in there, my nigga.
Right.
So don't worry about us.
Look, the Target deal is important, because I hit up both of these dudes when that episode came out. I said, oh,
Y'all gotta look
selective
but look,
rage.
But look, no,
everybody album is available
right.
vinyl
So
and
why
Target.
would a whole say, hey, I don't have
He don't have to. He don't owe y'all niggas no explanation, my nigga.
That's where we split ways.
Well, that's going to forever be that, my nigga. Y'all sounded like the old.
Now first he says, we don't give a fuck about that activism shit. It's number one. That's not what Jay has said in his defense. He's never said, I don't give a fuck about this activism shit. But Memphis Bleak said that. Then Memphis Bleak wants to give an example of what he's talking about, because now I'm going to double down. I'm going to give y'all an example. I'm going to give y'all an analogy on why we don't give a fuck. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit so y'all can hear when he gives the analogy.
Y'all gotta look
selective
but look,
rage.
But look, no,
everybody album is available
right.
vinyl
So
and
why
Target.
would a whole say, hey, I don't have
He don't have to. He don't owe y'all niggas no explanation, my nigga.
That's where we split ways.
Well, that's going to forever be that, my nigga. Y'all sounded like the old lady in the window. Why y'all outside 3 a.m. loud? We gotta tell her we selling drugs, bitch.
I quite frankly would have appreciated him just saying nothing. Like, he could have just said,
did you hear the analogy? We gotta tell you why we selling drugs. Let's go, because this is where he thought. This is where he thought, as the young people say, he ate.
We selling drugs, bitch.
I quite frankly would have appreciated him just.
No, let's go back to Mev. Go ahead, Mev. Go ahead. You just
that's where we split ways.
Well, that's going to forever be that, my nigga. Y'all sounded like the old lady in the window. Why y'all outside 3 a.m. loud? We gotta tell her we selling drugs, bitch.
I quite frankly would have appreciated.
Yes. She's complaining. She is worried about illegal activities going on in front of her house.
Not everybody needs to be on a mic.
It was one of the greatest jokes that I heard, and I want to get his name. God, I gotta get it. I don't know if it was. I don't want to mess up the comedian. He said when Biggie said I just want to talk to all those who called the cops on me when I was out here selling crack just to feed my children. And Biggie was literally coming at them for saying you're selling drugs in front of my building. But Bleak just goes.
Him just saying nothing. Like, he could have just said nothing at all. As a black man in this country, to say you don't give a fuck about that activism shit baffles me. That's the part that really gets me. Also, the example he gave, the analogy of an old woman looking out her apartment building and seeing, it was just awful. It was whack to me. I'm sorry, y'all.
She want to know why we outside late doing what we do. You want to know why he did what he did. We owe none of y'all no explanation. We selling drugs, bitch.
The difference is...
Now, this is what Bleak, and this is why some people
don't owe an explanation. We're selling drugs.
We don't owe an explanation.
It's making my head hurt.
We don't owe an explanation on why we're destroying the community. Now, this, once again, remove Jay-Z from this. I'm talking about the person who is sitting here trying to give you an analogy and the mindset that I don't have to explain to you why I'm selling drugs in your community. So whatever we're doing, and he keeps saying what we doing. And I got this funny feeling Ben Bleak ain't never made a corporate decision for Jay-Z. He has never been brought into a meeting. He has never been asked his advice. But come on, we got to
hear it. You want to know why he did what he did? We owe none of y'all no explanation. We selling drugs,
No, the difference is...
I can respect him saying...
And when you say we don't owe y'all an explanation, but these are the same people you came to make your fortune. Whenever
you
something,
do owe an explanation.
Whenever something was promoted, you went to the same community and said, come support. When Tidal was open, you said, artists, come get your justified, your piece. So all this, Bleak, just talk about how much you love them. That's it. Because this, my friend, is crazy.
That Jay-Z doesn't owe us anything. And Jay-Z doesn't have to explain how he moves, why he, has his vinyl and Target. He doesn't have to explain it. That's fine. But as a fan, as a consumer, we can question it. We can have a problem with it.
And it goes both ways, people. if you don't have to explain to us, we ain't got to explain to you why we decide not to deal with you anymore.
Exactly.
Because the same way you wanted to point out that he don't have to explain to us, he literally on that freestyle dissected, pointing the finger at us and the hypocrisy of us and how, yeah, you guys still do this. You still on Facebook and Instagram, as if we have multiple choices. Okay, so we want to go back and forth. So how about you, sir, who is a billionaire and literally had every option in the world, and you decided to choose Target? In a lot of cases, the common folks don't have the choices. The only way they can get their word out about their product is on Instagram.
Right.
But this is
we could have did without this.
but that is when the person that is repping for you may not be the person you want speaking, but it goes back to these celebrities, and this is what we've done, and this is my thing about our go-to is always following celebrities. And I've always talked about what Malcolm said, and I always talked about the statement he said, and it's just as true as it was back then, that's as true as it is right now.
A little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
You can't have somebody who is supposed to be a civil rights leader unless they're willing to lose it all.
Right.
But you can't rep people and want to keep what you have. Because if you want to keep what you have, the compromise comes. If you want to keep what you have, then the compromise comes. So in the case of Muhammad Ali, they took it all.
Right.
But if you still want to keep something, because let's be honest, his daily business activities is Jay-Z's daily business activities isn't dealt with us. It's dealt with the elite billionaires who don't look like us. Those are the
that's
dialogues.
really who he's out to satisfy. It just is what it is. And I probably would have to fight Jay Black on this one too. I am also a fan, love his music, but hate his bullshit and his business. He is not for us. And people need to start realizing that. He's not for us. He is for himself, his own interests, and his own pockets. His so-called activism was a money grab. It was a way to capitalize off of us once again, just like this whole Target shit. He knew exactly what he was doing.
So if we go back, we're going to go back to the NFL owners saw what he did to help the Barclays Center exist in Brooklyn. So the NFL goes, cool, we saw your work. Help us now, because for the first time in 25 years, our viewership is going a tad bit down. I don't know how much it went down, but allegedly it went down. So he came back. He got the halftime shows. He does the halftime shows. And you know what? He did a wonderful job because the people he put on was Kendrick. So we're like, Kendrick is speaking that. He's speaking that, and it's a moving performance, and he got us. Then he goes to My Latinos, and he puts Bad Bunny on there, and he got us. Well, if you're Target and you see it worked to get the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and it worked for him to help the NFL. If you're Target, don't you go, that would be,
bring them niggas back.
Yeah.
Bring the niggas back. I think back.
Because his track record is spectacular. I mean, what he did to the NFL, not only did he bring people back, but he made people feel empowered. It was so brilliant that he made people feel empowered. It made people feel empowered to have Kendrick. It made listen, Latinos, when we saw Bad Bunny on there, it gave people a sense of pride. He literally was able to not only get us back, but to make us feel good about it. So why wouldn't Target go, hey, can you please return my text messages? Because we have another. But for Memphis Bleek, and back to my point with Memphis Bleek, dog, you would be doing Jay-Z a great favor if you just talked about how great Reasonable Doubt was.
Just shut up altogether at this
And you would be great if you just sat there and you gave us the memories of the things he taught you. And the things he taught you and the dear friendship. Because Bleak, I promise you, somewhere Jay was like, dog, shut up. Nobody in life, I never said I don't give a shit about that activism shit. He's never said that.
To defend Jay-Z.
I don't give a fuck about that activism shit, my nigga. Like, because these niggas are still in there, my nigga.
Right.
So don't worry about us.
Look, the Target deal is important because I hit up both of these dudes when that.
Because trust me, Doc is back in the. Doc, I think Doc is here. I don't know if he's ready.
Can you hear me?
No. And I just want to say, to keep this on Memphis Bleak, if Dr. Aaron Smith, hypothetically, had a controversy and there was some policy that he was going back and forth with somebody, and they accused Dr. Aaron Smith of something, and they said, Mike, we know you're cool with you've been friends with Dr. Aaron Smith for 20 years. How do you feel? You know what my answer would be? He's a dear friend of mine. And that's as far as I'm going. Because I'm not built to talk on these scenarios. Just because
he might trip you up.
Ain't nobody tripping me up.
You dropped the bottle of beer. You know you messed up, Mike. You know you don't.
If they're having an intense discussion on African history and what happened, how do I even insert myself to defend him on something that I don't even know the inner workings of? Mev Bleak has never been asked any questions, like I said, or brought into any boardroom meeting to be like, hey, we're about to move on with this. What you think, Bleak?
Well, that's why they asked him.
Of course.
Okay, we do interviews. They knew they had a soft target. They knew they would never sit face to face with Jay-Z ever in life. And they knew Memphis Bleak isn't as media trained. So they knew what they were doing too. As a journalist, I see the whole play. I see the full design. I know what Memphis Bleak said was crazy, but I know they also asked Memphis Bleak. They knew what they was doing. They knew what they were trying to get. And they got it. They got it.
The amazing thing is to let these guys trip you up. Bleak, you've been around. You can say whatever you want. I can have my complaints. Number one, he's a genius in his musical talents. Number two, business-wise, whatever you say, you can say whatever you want. But he has maneuvered through minefields his entire life. And in order to maneuver through those minefields, you have to be a sharp, intelligent person. Bleak, you've sat around this guy for years and you didn't learn enough to understand less is more. Like, you want to talk tough. You're talking tough because you think you got the badge of Jay-Z behind you. Nobody needs you to talk tough. Just go in there and be his hype man. We are dear friends. Jay-Z would have to do the explaining for this. Because nobody ever wants to be humble and say, I don't know the inner workings, y'all. I just don't.
But that's your safest answer. That was his safest answer. If he had just said that, that's end of convo right there. I don't know the inner workings. End of convo. He doesn't even have to move on with it. But like y'all said, he don't think that way. He doesn't have the media savvy to know when to shut the fuck up.
But can you imagine Jay seeing this interview and going, dog, I never said I don't give a damn about activism. I said the opposite. I said I brought people home. I said I did reform on laws.
Oh no, his word choice was ridiculous. He got a complete word choice. But did he say I don't give a about activism, people still going? That's how he said, people still going.
Yeah.
Well, I had a situation where I needed something immediately, and the only place was a Target.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of those situations where I was going hard. I was driving 15, 20 minutes out of my way. And then one time I actually wasn't driving. I was at a hotel, and across from the hotel was the Target. You had to walk like across, and it was right. And I went to Target feeling terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And if I be honest with you and tell you how many black people I saw up in there, I had a Jay-Z moment. I'm not gonna lie. Same moment I had in high school where I was like, they ain't gonna put me on no t-shirt and not feed my family like they do with Dr. King every year. Y'all ain't gonna cheer me on to go ahead and fight the power. And then when I die, y'all don't do nothing for me. I had another one of those moments with Target. I walked in Target, I saw 1 million black folks in there, working, shopping, doing everything, hanging out. And I was like, am I in a different type of Kool-Aid? Like, is there an ignorance Kool-Aid and an activism Kool-Aid? I felt like, there's a lot of Kool-Aids where it's like, don't buy into it 100%. Because when he said, I don't like the activism, people still go. And I kind of felt both of those. I felt when he said the dumb thing when I was like, oh, please, you're talking crazy. But I also felt and when he said that everybody else got their music in Target, I started looking it up. I said, did anybody else stand with us in solidarity? Are there any other artists? So if I'm selling my stuff in Target quietly on a lower level, but you do it publicly on a high level, 6-7 for me.
Right.
You were selling low key. He's on the corner selling, to bring back the Bleaks analogy. So you wrong because you selling drugs, but just because I'm at work and I got my steady clients and I'm still a drug dealer. I'm not the ignorant one. I'm not the one out on Front Street, literally, looking somebody feet more door, right? I'm not him. But at the same time, like I see some nuance here. I hate Bleak as a spokesperson. That was ridiculous. He should never talk for himself, let alone anybody else. But at the same time, when he says people were shopping, at the same time, he said people had their music in there too. Those points need to be addressed. Not by Bleak. But somebody does need to get a little deeper than just like, oh, it's all Jay-Z and everybody else was standing. Everybody wasn't standing with us. The niggas was selling their music in Target. And a lot of people who were talking was going to Target. Like,
no. I had a moment, and I shared it on the show. I had a moment, and listen to this. This is where the irony gets thicker than anything, and I felt horrible. It was a storm outside, and I had to go host.
Oh yes, I remember you say you got all that. I was watching that day. I watched that one. Yeah.
And when I went in there, I felt horrible. Now, and it's not that I disagree with Doc. I understand that in these protests, I'm sure I don't have any evidence. I'm sure when the bus boycott happened, I'm sure they were some black people who got on that bus in the beginning and said, I got to get to work. But maybe I'm wrong. And when I hear historians say, when Malcolm first started talking for years, I was not for it. I should have written down his name. He said, I'm not going to sit up here and falsify what my thoughts were in the beginning. I really thought what he was saying was dangerous and did not agree with it. So I think every protest, not everybody's going to jump on his protest. And I felt horrible by going to Target. It was raining and it was storming. And guess what? I saw a lot of people looking like me trying to get umbrellas. And in one way, like I felt what you were feeling, Doc, but I felt this other thing. I felt like they have made it so virtually impossible for us to actually do things in an absolute way because they know that this Target is here and there's nowhere else around here unless I drive. And I don't even know where else I go to get an umbrella. I guess I would go to a dollar store. I guess maybe going to a dollar store.
And like he pointed out, the companies that own the companies, I'm not going to act like I knew all that. I didn't know the Amazon connection to the Meta connection, but that's what they want. They don't want you to know. They want it to be a whole interconnected web where even when you think that, controlled opposition, where they own both sides, but that is worth analyzing. Like when people say that, and it's like, let's all admit that we had no idea that we were supporting some of the exact same people that we thought we were boycotting. Like that conversation needs to be had also. Everybody's supposed to be like, throw tomatoes at Jay-Z. Jay-Z had a more sophisticated corporate analysis. Let's give him that and analyze that. Some of us thought we were fighting when we were helping the people who we thought we were fighting. Like, let's deconstruct and unpack that also while we bash Jay-Z. Because that's the part that frustrates me, where it's like, whoa. Don't miss the fact that he pointed out the corporate structure, whereas though when we go home and shop on Amazon and support Meta and log on and do our streams, some of these people are the same companies, same boards of directors, same owners. So if we're going to boycott, let's boycott. And when Memphis Bleak said, we don't support this activism, he followed right up with, we're still going, which meant we're not supporting this idea of the activism where it's for show.
But there's a lot of people who have. There's a lot of people who have, and I was one of those people. And this is the pressure that goes on, fair or unfair. And I already sowed the link between Brooklyn, Barclay, NFL, and Target. That to me is just and that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants. That's what he chooses to do. That's what he chooses to do. This is where I get frustrated. This part. Jay, I know it was a hot line, but you know it's more intricate than that. And you know why we still on Instagram. And you know why we are still dealing with these companies. Because you know the plan that they have. And you know how they suffocate us with surrounding us and making us believe we have no options. So you use this as a punchline to come back and make us look stupid. But we're the ones supporting you.
I don't know if we look stupid, just to make us aware. Like,
no.
Y'all think y'all activists, y'all think y'all fighting. Let me tell you, because I be in the boardrooms, you supporting the same people you think you fighting. So slow down with the attacking, like you said in the previous one. The one looks the same as you.
But
slow down with because we don't know the other ones. We don't get on here and be like, yo, he tricked us. This board director who's on Meta, like the only person we got the smoke for, like Jay-Z said, is the one who looks the same as us. And that's historic. That's a thing that we've done for a long time. Where it's like we'll go with the black one, but the white one, we're like, we ain't got no choice.
But my thing with him when he said it, and we'll just have to agree to disagree. He said it like, aha, bitches, y'all falling for it, and y'all got the nerve to come at me.
We've been going in there.
And the reason why y'all mad at me is because I make billions off of it. But your dumb ass $50,000 a year, y'all go out there and I was like, dog, wait a sec, Jay, wait. 60,000 people came out here to support you. 3 days in a row, they came to support you. They were people spending thousands of dollars. Now that's their choice to come see you every night. And now you're going to throw at them. Oh, you dummies. Look at what you're doing. You're doing this, you're doing that. Well, Jay, if that's the case, then explain to us, what is it that we should do, Jay? Because we're looking at you. And the reason why people are hurt because we gathered up for this, but now you're going to try and tell us, yeah, but y'all dummies keep doing this. Okay, Jay, then you're the God MC. You're Hove. Then please, then explain to us what to do. Explain to me why you would use Colin Kaepernick as a hot punchline when that man ain't never do nothing to you.
No, I think the public juxtaposed them like Malcolm and Martin, as Colin Kaepernick being the real activist and Jay-Z being the corporate shill and the capitalist. And that's the point. And I've actually, I gotta find a video. I was in class having this debate because I remember when the Netflix special was coming out about Colin Kaepernick. I remember when the Nike ads started coming out about Colin Kaepernick and the students were like, Colin Kaepernick does this and everybody else does it. And I was like, whoa, bro, he got business deals. Let's not do that. There's nuance here. There's gray areas where people make compromises and make deals, and it doesn't mean they don't believe what they believe. Sometimes it means, like Mike said, they recognize what the system is and they do their best in it. There's other things going on, but they wanted to do this black and white polarized dynamic, and I was like, that's not what's happening. And I showed Colin Kaepernick with the Nike on across his face. I showed the Netflix trailer of his life. Like, people are sitting down and working with people. So you can do this because you're a student. As a college student, you could be an idealist and you can let your hair grow out and wear the t-shirt and just say F everything and F everybody because you don't have a mortgage and you don't have children and you don't make those compromises. You don't know the gray areas because you're just in school. And I've been that person longer than most people. I've been in school forever. But I know how to just be like, I'm a total socialist, communist. Like, you can do that when you're walking across campus having debates. Knowing you can't do that when you got bills to pay, student loans to repay, children to raise, and more. So that part of it was just like a generational conversation that was had within the context of Colin Kaepernick and a Jay-Z. And if you're talking about me for a year and I finally come back out, you don't tell me when I can talk about it. Y'all been throwing darts at me all year and y'all been wrong. This is my show. This is my time. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I think he has that right. Most people would not wait to talk. With social media, most people would not wait a year to respond. Only really Jay-Z does that and waits a year and lets everybody just hammer him and then be like, let me talk now. I'm not going to critique when he talks and what he says at that point. At that point, he's like, y'all realize how long y'all been talking about me? You going to say, I can't talk. I can't say what I want to say. To me, that's crazy.
But to me, on the flip side of that is, yes, you get to speak your piece. And I get to ask you, why do you intentionally keep coming at Colin Kaepernick, who has never said anything about you?
Because y'all keep holding him up like he's something different. we're both doing business.
So that's the ultimate of somebody catching a stray when you know he didn't do anything. And let me tell you what Jay-Z and Dame Dash have very much in common. Let me tell you what they have in common. When their egos get touched, they don't care who has to catch it. And when it and my point is, this is where I've said over and over again, people in my generation still believe that when they get to pop off, that's going to be the end of it all. And it's just the beginning. Because when you say that, and then on the flip side, almost exactly the same few days, he's paying for the independent autopsy for Nolan Wells. And then you say he signed a certain contract, which, Jay, how did you not know that he never signed that contract? Didn't have that wording. He never signed a disparagement contract, Jay. Like, how would you say something like that and then say, y'all better be glad it was him?
That was a bad look.
You have to know this before you actually make an accusation that man shut up because he signed a non-disclosure or a non-disparagement contract. And then literally 48 hours, it comes out that they have all the proof that he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why he stopped talking. I did wonder why he stopped talking. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't wonder why. I didn't know about paperwork, but I did wonder why there was a sharp decrease in Colin Kaepernick's commentary against the NFL. I did wonder that. And I mentioned that in class too. I was like, yo, he went from going at him and trying to play to Netflix and Nike ads. And what was it? Beats was the one he's doing.
But even after that, he had made the statement after the settlement. He had made the statement that the NFL was like modern day slavery. And he had repeated that. Now, his marketing campaign ain't as good as Jay-Z's marketing campaign. And did he work with Nike? Yeah. Did he get the Netflix deal? Yeah. But you do realize these are the last checks. Like, they took away his way to make money. There is no other way. The God-given talent that you had to get that. They say it's $80 million. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's $80 million. They say this amount of money. He gets to Netflix and he's still working. Even with all that, and I know there are intricate things on who you got to deal with. Listen, Charlamagne signed with Netflix and making $300 million, and Netflix's biggest stock owner is BlackRock. Listen, I don't know how you get around. It's almost like, I don't know. Let me just say, I don't know. But I just had a problem. But back to my Jay-Z and Dame Dash point. When their egos get touched, there's one thing that comes out, is that sometimes they will take shots at people. And this is the first time ever that Jay-Z has taken a shot at people that it backfired on them because everybody looked like, why? Even during the freestyle, it got quiet when he said it. Even I have the freestyle. Even everybody was like, what?
Well, they didn't know, and they wondered if it was true. I'm sure they were like, "Is that the case?" Or I didn't know that. Like, yeah, I'm sure we'll get quiet. I think that was the point. I don't think that was the point. He expected a bunch of cheers.
No, I think he did.
Expected a pause. He expected like egg on your face, or go do some research, or whatever the response.
I think he expected for them to ride
because he did his nervous Jay-Z laugh. Like,
I don't think he would cheer. I don't think he would cheer Colin Kaepernick signing a non-disparagement.
No, he said there was a pause where he goes, y'all better be happy it was him. And it was like quiet. And then he goes, ha 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 ha. Then he goes back to listen, lyrically he's ridiculous. But even that moment was a very awkward moment. But I didn't want to get stuck on the Jay-Z. Now that I have you here.
I would tell people to listen to Moment of Clarity, the whole get rich and give back to me. That's the win-win. Truthfully, I want to rhyme like Talib Kweli. Industry, music business hate me because the industry ain't make me. Like he talked about what we need to do. And people were like, no, we'd rather wear T-shirts and complain and be online and pose. We don't want to do business, and we don't want to take the sacrifices to navigate this evil capitalist structure, and we don't have those gifts like Memphis Lee. You go do that. And he was like, okay. Because there was a time where he was like, this is how we level up. What's better than 2 billionaires? What? Like he been talking, trying to do a whole seminar for the last 20 years. And I think he's got to the point he realized 99% of these people don't want to do the work and the sacrifices and take the toils and snares and be the target of people's ire. They would rather just sit at home in privacy and anonymity and go to Target and come home and complain about Jay-Z.
Yeah, and Jay, like, and once again, I don't want to get stuck on it because Jay-Z will say stuff that industry ain't make me. No. Halfway after The Rock, the industry did help make you because you ran to the industry to be the Def Jam president, and you ran in there because you knew
he was already made. Then he was made.
No, he wasn't. We forget he was wealthy. there's a whole part of his career that takes him to a whole nother billionaire status after becoming the president of Def Jam.
Yeah, but he was made. He was still made.
And he maneuvers into the evolution of.
He's raping Def Jam. He's a $100 million man.
Exactly.
But he told you the plan then. He didn't say, well, I'm going to change my. He said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. They didn't like me. They want me to move out of the suburbs. They don't want me. I get sharp in it. For years and years, he's been saying, this is what it is. I know how they feel about me. These are my options, to be poor or get rich and give back. This is the one I'm choosing. He broke it all down. Now he's doing it. People are like, oh my God, look at this guy. It's like,
he broke it all.
Music, he just skimmed through it. Like, if you listen to Jay-Z, it's like, these are surprises.
But a lot, Jay, be careful what you ask for, because I listen to the music and I see the contradictions.
But he said that too.
And I see and let me tell you, but let me tell you about somebody who points out their contradictions. They point out their contradictions a lot of times so they can normalize their behavior afterwards, because they're going to go, I told you, this is what I do. And they like to normalize it so that you guys then it turns into, that's just Jay-Z.
No, I'm talking about, can't you see that I'm growing? I was so immature. We talk about the contradiction how I treated women. I'm in your lobby blunted and I don't even smoke. Like, I'm talking about those kind of contradictions where it's like he's admitting his shot my best friend, the hot gun in my waist. I just shot my brother. Like, he's talking about shooting his brother and smoking and treating women bad. I'm talking about those contradictions. I'm talking about 444, where the whole album is about his vulnerability and his humanity and his failings. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he's not even coming to y'all acting like, I don't do nothing wrong, because some artists present themselves as squeaky clean. Some people present themselves as, I'm the darling and I don't do anything wrong. There's certain comedians that do that. I won't name the name, but there's like there's short. But I'm saying there's people whose image are different than that. Jay-Z's image is, I'm a hustler. Jay-Z's image is, I shot my own brother. So when you say Jay-Z got, I'm like, yeah, he said that too. You're right, Mike. If it goes down, everybody can catch it, even his own brother, a bullet. And he talking about talking about, you butted my joke. And then a couple years later, he's talking about again on stage. Absolutely right, but I don't think he's acting like that's.
But see, that's my whole thing. He's normalized it to the point where he'll even contradict the interview. He'll say something on an interview that battling ain't good, that we shouldn't battle, and immediately when he gets on that Roots Picnic thing, he says, fuck what I said. I got to air Drake out. These cats is going to catch it. It's the normalization of what he's able to get away with. That's why that's why I always say this younger generation, don't ask them to pay too close attention, because now they are paying close attention and they are dissecting and they're going, the only thing that fits in your career is that, yes, you will do whatever it takes for you. And you will, if that means contradiction your views and opinions, you will do it. Even if it's a talking interview, you will contradict yourself and not give a fuck. And then after you explain your version of it, after you explain why in a lyrical way, after you explain it, then you'll try and get mad that we then respond. Well, that's the way this is going to go, Jay.
He talked about the difficulty. No, he said, I don't want to sound like the old head who stayed. He talked about the fact that there's a no-win situation when he described the battling. It wasn't like he was like, battling should stop. No, he was like, I don't know if it's productive at a certain point. He talked about the contradiction and the paradox, the conundrum he was in as somebody who's like this elder statesman, but who's been there in the heat of it and understand. He talked about, that's the thing, Jay-Z talks with nuance. In a world that doesn't appreciate nuance and doesn't recognize its importance. But that's what I think is what the clash is at. Because Jay-Z will say 9 points, and people be like, you said you don't like battling. And it's like,
No. He said, how productive? I don't think this is productive. And I get it. I see the dilemma. But for the very next time for you to be on stage to go against what you just
said. Wild. That's wild. Yes. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on the timing and all that. But I'm also going to acknowledge the fact that even like what Memphis Bleek said about Target, when Jay-Z was talking about battling, he was talking about it within the context of Kendrick and Drake. And something different happened in Kendrick and Drake that didn't happen with Roxanne Shante, that didn't happen with Shannon KRS. So even the framing of the conversation was not about your typical battle. It's about this battle that changed battling, that changed hip hop and how far it went. What do you think about this? When I say battling, we're not talking about a hip hop. Because if he answered in that context, people would be like, what the hell is he talking about? He's outdated and doesn't know what's going on in the world. So we're talking about, when does it go too far? When people are being called pedophiles and all that. That's the context he's talking about. I don't know. He's not saying, yeah, what happened with me and Nas should have never had. Like that's the nuance.
But even with that,
they hear the soundbite and they're like, oh, he don't like battling. He battled, and it's like, bro, that's
no. But we can move on from that one. All right, so because I wanted to get to this. I wanted to get to this because I thought this was interesting. Number one, red flags. This is the conversation but it's not red flags about other people. It's our red flags. It's our red flags. So and it turned out it was just one of these. This wasn't a deep interview, y'all. This wasn't nothing that I was like, ooh, ah. I just had to, what caught my ear was the fact that he had to remind them, we're talking about your red flags. Like, that was the thing that got me. He had to remind them. So here's a little something.
That lie. I hate that lie.
Well, in yourself.
Oh, my biggest red flag? Shit, I ain't got no red flags, but I do lie a lot. I'm a manipulator, so that's my biggest red flag.
You manipulating?
Yeah.
So if you call your ex and he agrees with you, I'll give you $50.
He in jail.
What do you do?
I'm not gonna say what he did.
You know it's public info, right? We can all find out.
Well, you can. You don't even know where he at.
He in jail. Don't tell us the name. I just want to know what he did.
He was in a car with somebody.
And he was shooting somebody?
No, they was shooting somebody. He was like associated with it. So.
How long you got? You gonna hold him down?
Fuck no.
It'd be like that. What's your biggest red flag?
If a man stinks.
Your biggest red flag, and
My
you?
biggest red flag? I look, you got commitment issues.
If you call your ex and he agrees with you, I'll give you $50.
You want me to call my ex right now?
Yep.
I think I'm blocked.
Why he block you?
I broke up with him because I'm moving to Florida to go to FSU, and I live in Wyoming.
Oh, you going off to college?
Yeah, so I broke up with him because I didn't want to do long distance. Yeah.
Sound like you about to be cheating.
No. That's why I broke up with him, so I wouldn't cheat.
What's your biggest red flag?
A sassy nigga. Somebody who type in all lowercase letters. Don't ever trust them.
Your biggest red flag, and you?
Oh, and me. I like to ghost. One wrong move, I'm gone. Like.
What's your biggest red flag?
That lie. I hate that lie.
Before we move on to red flags.
Oh my God.
Doc, please tell me. Please, Doc.
I'm with you, Doc. Like, what the hell did?
Hold on, Doc. Please tell me you didn't know
that was a lot.
Please tell me you didn't know. You were not aware of that. If I type in all lowercase letters, that makes me sassy. Please tell me you didn't know.
What?
That.
I'm happy my name is in all capitals on here. I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened that way. I'm like, okay, good. I guess I'm extra.
That's a new one on me. That is a new one
today. Yo, you should have put a trigger warning on that one, Mike. That was heavy. You done showed fight videos that they hit me like that. That I was going into a depression. I was like 3 more comments away from just like needing a break. Yo, the outfits, the language,
that whole video was
it was a lot. Yeah. I be lying. She said I'm a mind manipulator. Is that how she said? I'm a mind
manipulator.
Manipulate the mind? Is that a new word? Is that what the kids say? Yo, the outfit with the 2 turquoise curtains. I was yo.
So give me credit because I saw everything you saw. But in my mind, I said it's funny how people, when you ask red flags, are always willing to point out other people's red flags.
Yep,
that was the first thing they did.
They assume they don't have. They're not talking about me. You're not talking about me.
Oh, you talking about the red? But hey, I'll give them credit that they brought a few of them up, and I think I started asking myself, are we even capable of knowing our red flags?
Yeah, people keep telling me.
But you know when people tell you something,
if you just are honest with yourself, be honest with yourself.
If you're a whole red flag.
So here's a red flag. Here I'll start. Here's a red flag that I have that I've never told anybody, but I felt it, but I didn't think I would ever tell anybody. I'm the type of person, and this is not going to be anything nice. It's not going to be something that's going to make me look good. It's going to make me look very insecure. I need encouragement.
Oh, okay.
I need
red flag
because at a certain point, people are gonna be like, Mike, how many times do I have to fucking tell you that you're good, you're dope, you're amazing? But mind you, I've never asked anybody that because I've never had enough not give a fuck to be like, look, every once in a while I need a pat on my back. You know how crazy that sounds coming out of a man's mouth.
Even when my skies was great, you would rub me on my back and say, baby, it'll be okay. And that's real to a player like me, baby. Yeah. Come on, Method Man got you, Mike. Method Man understand.
And he's a Pisces too. I need encouragement. Like sometimes
you need a lot of reassurance.
Yes, and you know that makes me. I feel real bitchy when I say that. I feel really.
You feel real lowercase. You feel real lowercase.
I'm lowercase.
That's gonna be the new slang. I had me out here feeling lowercase, man. I'm out here. You know, no capital letters on my. I was out there need support.
Feel lowercase, and okay. So here's another red flag. I am an intense overthinker, and the things that I will overthink, I know if I say them out loud to somebody, they're gonna, without being disrespectful, they're gonna look like, why would you overthink that? Because I'm going to overthink everything. It's something that literally is maddening. Like, I can have a simple conversation with somebody, y'all, a simple conversation, and I will catch myself 10 minutes later analyzing what that conversation was about. And if I told you what that conversation was about, you'd be like, Mike, there was nothing to analyze.
Nothing like that.
There was nothing. So I need reassurance, and I am an overthinker. So when you tell me something as simple as, I had a great time tonight, just think that in my mind.
What you mean by time?
What you mean by great time? Do you mean we normally don't have great times? Were you shocked that we had a great time?
Because you didn't put an S on it. You just said
different than the last time.
Is this the last date? Is this the last date? You didn't say great times. Look, you said I had a great time. Like, it's making no sense out here.
Yeah, making no sense. So everybody out there on the chat, KT, if you want to go first, if you would like to go first, it is up to you. You don't have to. If you want to put your red flag. One red flag is that when a guy spins the block, you will spend 6 hours trying to explain to him why this is not going to work. That could be a red flag.
My red flag is I'm too damn nice.
Hold up, real quick, Doc. If you were trying to spin the block with somebody, right? And she said, no, it's not going to work. But then she spends 6 hours on the phone with you. Would that give you an indication?
Like if I hang up and you call back, and I hang up and you call back, and I hang up and you call back, or you keep texting, what am I supposed to do? You keep coming back at me. So I'm
stalker. So you spend 6 hours talking to a stalker. That might be worse. I don't know if that detail helped. I got to be honest with you. That detail might have changed it for the worse. Wait, so he was stalking, showing stalkish behavior, and then you had a 6 hour conversation. You didn't call the police. Okay. No, I think, but honestly, I think the man dropped the ball in that instance. Because if I'm on the phone with a woman and she's on the phone for 3 hours and I'm trying to spin the block, at some point, I'm going to be over there. Because she obviously doesn't mind talking to me. So after the second or third hour of us debating
long distance,
hey, I could have been driving. I could have got to you half the places in the nation.
I could have been in the house. I could have been in the house.
Could have caught a flight at that point. Well, the next day, if we talk for 6 hours, how did it end? How did the conversation end after 6 hours? We not back
in the same place where it started at the first hour of me saying I'm done.
He fumbled that conversation. I think a lot of men would agree that if a woman gives you 6 hours to make your case, you should have came up with something. Even Memphis Bleak could have said something good in 6 hours. 6 hours?
Yo, if you give me 6 hours, let me tell you.
For him, Doc.
And let me tell you, this is a very manipulative thing. If you give me 6 hours, I'm going to stop talking about spinning the block, and I'm going to start getting you involved in a great conversation so that you start realizing the chemistry that we've always had. And like Doc said, while I'm talking,
that was tried.
I'm driving over. That was tried?
There was an attempt there. And that didn't work either. Maybe I don't think that's a red flag. I just think it's one, being raised by a man. So I think a little bit different, and I see through a lot of the bullshit. So I know when you're saying certain things just to manipulate me into a certain response, it doesn't work. But I say that my red flag in that situation is I don't have a lot of patience for those kind of conversations.
Well, damn, you spent 6 hours.
Get frustrated,
I'm sorry,
and I popped up, and I spent half of that popping off. Because why are we still having this fucking conversation? It's getting on my nerves. We're talking in circles. We keep saying the same shit over and over again, and do you see this is why this is not working? Because of this right here. This right here. This conversation right here. and how this conversation is going.
Mm.
But like you said, then it's like well, let's try to throw the conversation off and, bring back all the smushy, mushy, lovey shit. Well, that doesn't work on me. And I'm not necessarily always very nice about it. So there's my red flag. There, yeah.
Wait, you're not very nice about
attempted manipulation, right?
Oh, attempted manipulation. Okay. Well, that's not a red flag. That's the way you're supposed to be.
My mouth is the red flag, though, because my mouth is.
Oh, your mouth is the red flag. Okay.
My mouth is the red flag. Once you push me into something like that, and I know you're just trying to manipulate me, I'm going to flat out say, "Oh, motherfucker, you think I'm stupid," and then it's a wrap from there, because I'm gonna explain to you all the ways I know you're trying to manipulate me. And usually men don't like that, and the argument gets longer because now you have something to prove, and I'm wrong, and I wasn't saying that, and yes, the fuck you were. Just yeah, you were. This is what you said, and this is what you wanted me to say, and then I didn't, and now you're mad.
But okay, so that's the red flag. We're not gonna get. I don't want to get deep into that, because my thing at the end of the day,
my mouth can be a red flag. Yes,
the red flag. Your mouth can be a red flag. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna stay on the phone. If I decided I'm not gonna be with you, I'm just not answering the phone. Like at that point, I may just have to block you. If you're gonna keep calling me, I'm just gonna have to block you. If you don't get the idea, then I just have to block you. That's why I kind of have a feeling, and I could be wrong, KT. So please don't jump through the screen and try and punch me in the face. No. I kind of have a feeling there's some sort of back and forth in your mind that still there's a temptation that you're fighting, that you want to give him another chance. That's just me. No. That's just what I'm thinking. But I could be totally wrong.
No, it would be nice to be able to be cordial with him and have a friendship, especially because we do have mutual friends and everything. But oh no, my mind is set. A relationship is not going to work in that situation. We would kill each other. It's not going to work. Our communication is shit.
But we do that as men, Mike. Men are notorious that everything means that the women want us. That's why women can't make eye contact when they walk in the street.
No.
That's why they can't smile at people, and then people run up on them talking about, why don't you smile, right? The reason why women can't engage normally with men is because every man gonna be like, oh, she smiled at me. Oh, she looked at me. Hey, eye contact. Like you get to a point where you might just want to have a resolution, like, or civility. Like I said, you just don't want the tension. But I gotta be honest, especially if we've been together in the past, you think it's cloudy for strangers? For a man that's been with you, he thinks everything means, oh, she want me back. No, she wants you to pay child support. That's why she's calling. She calling me. She keep calling me.
Right.
Oh, you ain't paying for the kids. But men oftentimes do misconstrue any type of attention or engagement as a desire to reconcile. So we
that is exactly what happened.
Red flag, Mike. That's a red flag. A lot of men.
Red flag.
We think everybody wants us back.
Another one.
We think everybody wants us back. Everybody wants us back.
She wants
a sweater. A sweater's
exactly what happened.
I would say for me, being too literal, because even the explanation of Jay-Z that I gave, I had to recognize at a certain point in my life, people ain't thinking this deep, bro. Like everybody's not doing this. And especially when you're in a relationship. When you're in a relationship, it's not about scholarly advancement. It's not about you. It's about communication. And if your person is not a college professor who's going into the nuance, she's talking based on what she sees, how she feels, and what she thinks. And like years ago, even before I became a professor, I had to realize, you getting deep into this where some people are just like, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't like the way it felt. And you can't go into a whole historiography and it doesn't really negate or explain what somebody felt. And for me, it was so logical and literal that I had to like come down to earth and be like, if you want to go into a career or if you want to go into certain spaces like rap, where you're doing all the different entendres, those spaces appreciate that. And that's how they communicate. When you're one-on-one with somebody you care about, you gotta bring it down. And I know that for me, it took a lot of work to be like, oh, I received that. Thanks for sharing. That's how you feel. I'm going to sit with that. And we can talk like, really, like, this is how you make a relationship work. This is how you write a book. And they are not the same at all. So being real literal about things, it helps when we're doing podcasts and talking about stuff and I'm writing books. People be like, they're like, yo, I love when you said that. It's real deep. That is great. But when somebody's trying to explain to you how they feel,
right,
you start giving a history lesson,
right,
you done broke up without knowing you broke up. Because back in the pyramids, they were the pyramids. I said you came in at 2 a.m. What? Because the sun dial, the way the sun used to, like the time, like you can't.
The sun.
But I know people like that. I know people that are too deep for healthy relationships, and I never want to be that kind of deep thinker. That's so deep that you see them on YouTube every day, but you ain't even know they had kids. But they be on 125th in Harlem for 10 years.
That's true, Doc. That, you know what? That's a red flag. I'm gonna have to incorporate your red flag. I can't understand when something just literally doesn't make sense to me, but that's how you feel. Because I will get caught up in, well, how did you come to feel like that? That doesn't make any sense. And like you said, they say that's how I feel. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense because this happened and we and then I
didn't tell you something to help me. I'm gonna tell you something to help me. I hope this helps you because this really helped me.
Go ahead.
Somebody was explaining this same dynamic that you just expressed in terms of what they were feeling or what they were saying, not making sense to them, not resonating with them. And the person immediately redirected their attention and let the person know it's about what it means to them.
Right. Yeah.
It's not about you understand.
Yeah.
And once I heard that, I was like, okay, I had my Rubik's Cube. I had twisted. And I looked the other side. I was like, oh, that's the problem. The problem is when I said, like you just said, it doesn't make sense to me. But the point was not for it to make sense to you. The point was for you to understand what it meant to them. And once I twisted that helped me a lot. Because when people be saying things and I'll be like, that don't make any sense. And I do not agree with that. And then I put that right to the side and I continue to listen because the focus is not whether it makes sense to me or whether I agree with it. The focus is, how do you feel?
How do you feel?
How can I better understand how you feel? So once the spotlight is solely on them and their feelings, because once I bring my interpretation into it and how I think about it, it's going to be a problem because we're different people. And I realize that's how people end up in the perpetual arguments where it's like, it's sometimes you have the same argument. And it's like, because that don't make sense to me. And it's like, well, you have to realign what the focus of these interactions are. Because when you say something, you don't want it to matter whether or not it makes sense to them or whether they agree with it. You want to be heard. And that's the point. Are you hearing the person? Are you working toward understanding the person and communicating in a way that prioritizes their feelings and their perspective? And if they do the same for you, right? And it's almost like when they lean on each other. You see those team building exercises where you lean on each other and then you have to trust each other and all that. It's like if I just stand up on my side, I'm not leaning on her and she can't lean on me. But if I say, you know what, it's not about me, and she does the same thing, now we both got the support we need. So you with the support, you can say, you can feel comfortable and vulnerable and say, sometimes, I just want to share with you, blah, blah, right? No fear. And she's not going to say, man, that sound mad lowercase. Like, she's just going to be like, I'm saying, but I'm saying, if y'all got that kind of agreement where it's like, you know what, that might not make sense to me. That might not be how other men communicated with me. That might not be the way I've experienced manhood. I might feel some type of way about that, but it's not about how I feel, right? You can identify all that and then pour it out and come with your empty bucket ready to receive, right? So I can identify all those things about how I think and then be like, but that's not what we're here for. What you need, Mike? You need, how would that look? My conversation changes now. I hear what you're saying. What type of things and what type of moments would you like? Instead of going back and forth about my feelings. But that really helped me because I used to do the same thing as you. Be like, I used to try to explain to people why it didn't make sense to me. And the irony is, in doing that, I'm trying to get them to think like me. So I'm explaining to you why it don't make sense to me. So I'm going to go through this whole diatribe of why it does make sense to me in hopes, at least subconsciously, that you'll think the way I think.
All right. So, okay. And I agree with, I've worked on it. This is another red flag I got to give. And I do this by mistake, and I don't even verbalize it. The people don't know I do it. They don't even know I do this. I have been known to be a great listener where I've sat on phones with people and I've literally let them go because I know there were times that I needed. Some of this stuff ain't making sense, but in my mind, automatically I take mental notes, and you're going, and you're going, and you're going, and you're going, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, I realize there's a consistency, and I see the problem, and I go like. But I don't say anything. But what I do is go in my mind. I'm like, I can't help you with this. And I'll start pulling away. without even letting the person know, because I'm like, that is above my pay grade. I see what's going on here.
But you can't diagnose. You ain't
but I can't diagnose, and this is going. So I just start pulling away, and it's almost like, how do you change that? By not listening? Your job is to listen.
Do you suggest therapy? Would be my question.
I have. I suggest.
You introduce that to bring them to somebody who can help them, because for me, when people act like they are psychologists when they're not, that's something that rubs me. Don't be diagnosing people when you just watch TikTok. Don't be throwing out narcissism. That drives me crazy. I'll be like, yo, you just learned the word. Like, I saw the video you saw, and now you giving it to everybody. But yes, I've said it to people before. It's like, maybe, somebody else to really help walk you through this and have a better understanding, like politely, not disrespectfully. But yeah, and people have done that for me too. Like, you might want to talk to somebody because it seems like, you're going in the same circle with this in terms of your thought process. And yeah.
I had a friend of mine tell me, she really broke this shit down. I was shocked that the person said it. They were like, you know what the problem is, Mike? I have people around me who are so concerned about ruffling my feathers that nobody will tell me. And that almost was like the setup for me to say something. And I was like, nah, I'm not either. But I was like, but I felt I said, the only thing I will say is when you say that and you put it out in the atmosphere, sometimes God hears it and brings that person to you who doesn't care about ruffling your feathers and will tell you and call you on it. And hopefully it works out. But that listening thing is always to me, because I try not to take mental notes. I try, y'all. I try not to go like, ooh. I try not to highlight that.
Is that a red flag? Because if that's a red flag, I'll go ahead and be accountable for that one, because I'm going to keep a mental Rolodex of everything. This brain right here, don't forget nada.
It's just so
I have it all right.
Yo,
I don't use it. I don't pull it out. I'm one of those people that can forgive, but I don't forget nothing.
Yeah.
So everything is right here. Everything is right here, and I always got a receipt.
Well, tomorrow, Doc, if you get on here, I have a Bible verse about husbands and wives. And I needed a translation, but we get to that tomorrow.
Not the Jay Black one, right? Not about submission, right?
Yeah.
remember that day with Jay? But he had a point. But the way he was doing the Memphis Bleak on the Bible.
I was about to say the same thing.
He was doing the Memphis Bleak because it says we should submit to each other, but the way he was presenting the submission, it seemed one sided. It was not going on where it's like he could have framed it a little better, We all want to do for our partner. We want to consider our partners. There's ways to say all these things.
But hey, God bless Jay Black, because that version of his submission gave us 30 minutes to contact. God bless him.
And God sent him the right person, like you said. God sent him the person that could challenge him and support him and understand him in a way where they can have a beautiful relationship. So praise God.
Send him the right person, and they got matching T-shirts on vacation now, talking about this and that. So God bless. Woke up inspired. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in your life. Fight for your happiness. Never let anyone or any circumstance take it from you, because God got me, God got you, God got us. From Michael Sean, KT, Dr. Aaron Smith, Jay Black, Sexy Mo, Kamari, Amani, C. Chung, and Woke Up Inspired. If you want your vision to be put on a T-shirt, all you got to do is go to wokeupinspired.com. You can put it on a T-shirt, a hoodie, a hat, socks, a fishing rod. She can put it on anything. And when you get there, understand there's already merch there to be bought, sold, and shipped. I will see y'all tomorrow morning. We gone.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also